Ballyhoo and welcome. The Passion Project continues. My name is Remedy Robinson. I'm a linguist, author, and an ardent fan. And this is an appreciation. This is an exploration of linguistics, language, and how to pitch a good film, as framed by the peerless poetry of the modern-day master, Elvis Costello. Today's slow drag is with Go Away from Momofuku, released in 2008. The songwriting is credited to Elvis Costello. Japanese for Lucky Peach and named after the famous instant noodle restaurant, Momofuku was touted as an insta album of sorts. The jagged edges that might inhabit a lesser auteur's work, however, are nowhere to be found in such epic pieces as Go Away. A story told in 3 acts with interludes befitting a Greek chorus, the adherence to structure and its journeyman use of low-frequency words make Go Away magnetic. Here in my little spy movie, with my garter and dagger, and my gag and my cuff, and my gunslinger swagger. With this alternating line rhyme scheme that is found throughout each act, the stage is set. The story is about to unfold using this quick cut framework. There will be a progression from its beginning 4-line verse to an 8-line verse to finally a 16-line verse. In between each act is a 12-line chorus that serves as a present continuous accusation that counterbalances the ensuing action. There are only 2 places where the structure is deviated from. Once in the third telling of the chorus, and right now with a 2-line introduction of what seems to be the motive for the action that follows. You used to be my hand-painted villain. You used to be so thrilling. The mental image of a hand-painted villain in both literal and figurative form creates a splashy rendition of a love interest turned antagonist, placing the excitement in the past tense and the tumult squarely in the present. Now that all of the roles have been set, the chorus perhaps betrays the potential interior monologue taking place in this little tale of espionage. It's a switch that you're flicking, a fuse you're always tripping, a button that you're pressing, a number that you're pushing. You're always delaying, denying, and betraying. Why don't you come back, baby? Why don't you go away? Go away, go away. Why don't you go away? Why don't you come back, baby? Why don't you go away? This is a 12-line chorus that is told in 3 parts. The first is 4 lines of observation, flicking, tripping, pressing, pushing. Then comes 4 lines of emotional upheaval. You're terrible for delaying, denying, and betraying. The final 4 lines grapple with the passion of it all. It's a fickle yet classic story of love's many facets of come here and go away. Budapest intrigue, 3 hours of black and white, squinting at subtitles through a telescopic sight. Hungarian melody, repeating endlessly, is this the end I see, approaching in front of me? Here we have a rhyme scheme that frames the scene nicely, using the familiar alternating verse on the 2nd and 4th lines as found in such classics as Man at a Time. These 8 lines are staggered by white sight and endlessly in me. It introduces us to the exotic setting of this little spy movie. What is at the heart of this exposition is quite possibly a lengthy and wholly educational delve down the rabbit hole of rich noir-tinged Eastern European films, with such films as Bellatar's highly acclaimed 7-hour 1994 black and white epic Tango, garnering so much international acclaim, there is undoubtedly a treasure trove of pre and post communist cinema to devour if you haven't already. I'm only 2 hours into Tango so far and can certainly see the perverse appeal of it all. The intrigue once again turns to the frenetic chorus. Afterward, the second act begins. In this hysterical epic, secret passage of the palace, powder from a hollow ring into the poisonous chalice, unfrocked fondler in a half-moonlit gondola, pampered hog in a ringlet wig, gambled a merry jig. You're always pursuing, but she won't need possessing, just undoing and undressing. Please don't stop confessing. This chock-a-block scene begins with a sly nod to its frenetic chorus with its mention of the hysterical epic. Then there's the many classic espionage tropes placed neatly in the first four alliterative laced lines. Ornate secret passages, poisoned rings, chalices, it all sounds quite familiar just before it digs deeper into the more obscure. An unfrocked fondler is a fancy way to say a naked person sitting in a shadowy boat, in this case a half-moonlit gondola. Then the tongue twister, pampered hog in a ringlet wig, gamboled a merry jig. Mr. Costello has mentioned several times recently how he was a songwriter who turned into a singer, mostly because he was the only one who could sing his, quote, quirky tunes. Long live quirky. The last four lines in this verse, using the present progressive, masquerade as the first four lines of the third telling of the chorus, which then goes on to leave out its first four lines in its repetition. This is the second and last deviation from structure to be found in this piece. As with the majority of three-act plays, going from the initial incident in Act 1 to the rising action in Act 2, Go Away now presents its climax in Act 3. In my mystery caper, as I lower my lamp on a fey little gun soul who dreamed of drilling that vamp, I'm walking the shade of this silent parade with my pepper and mace and my heartbroken face. In the first two stanzas of this last verse that serve as a restatement of the action, the economy of words is simply staggering. For example, a fey little gun soul, fey, spelled with an E, means foreboding, marked for death, or with otherworldly attitude. And a gun soul is an armed criminal, a dangerous, shady, and lovelorn character who's now gone back into the dark night. Meanwhile, the hero remains in light, or at least not in complete darkness, as denoted by the shade, watching humanity go by, perhaps. Pepper and mace, heartbroken face, these sounds join forces to resemble a flurry of gunfire or fireworks. And now for the denouement, the loose ends to be tied up neatly. Rainy railway station frowns out a tearful parting, less canister rolling on our little melodrama. Is a white horse opera, a screwball comedy, mistaken identity. Well, who do you want to be? These jump cut style vignettes bring an avalanche of classic black and white movies cascading, Anna Karenina, Duck Soup, The Third Man, on and on. In these noir worldscapes, who do you want to be? A switch that you're flicking, a fuse you're always tripping, a button that you're pressing, a number that you're pushing, you're always delaying, denying or betraying. Why don't you come back, baby? Why don't you go away? Go away, go away. Why don't you go away? Why don't you come back, baby? Why don't you go away?
Dig it.
Again, this has been a slow drag with Go Away from 2008's Momofuku. This was a pretty tricky piece to do a slow drag with. I wanted to focus more on the tremendous structure and leave the definitions of many low-frequency words alone, since all I'd be doing is restating what Mr. Costello has already said so masterfully. Exploring the obscure words are much more different from simply teasing out his many oblique references. I have defined a few words, as you have heard, but hope I've stopped short of changing the interpretation altogether. All told, Go Away is an endlessly fascinating piece with a structure that feels as if it's been labored over, when in reality, we're told it came together, or at least the album that it lives on, very quickly. Instantly, I guess. The jump cuts a la Breathless add a wonderful flourish to the timeless appeal of film noir. And that's it for today's slow drag, my friend. Thank you for listening. Other gems from Momofuku that you'll enjoy a slow drag with are episode 7, Let's See How Brave You Are. It's a slow drag with no hiding place. Episode 35, A Song in My Heart. It's a slow drag with Turpentine. And episode 48, Erase Everything Rotten. That's a slow drag with Flutter and Wow. If you like my work on this podcast, which I hope you do, then maybe you'll enjoy some of my other writing. I wrote my first novel, The Most Terrible Time in My Life, ends Thursday. It's available now through Amazon. Find it, give it a read, rate it, review it, and spread the word. I'm well into my second book now and would love some attention for this first wonderful little book. Please take the time to give this podcast a 5-star rating, especially on Apple Podcasts. As always, thank you for helping to get the word out about this little passion project. Truly, it means the world. So, until next time, adieu, my little ballyhoo. Slow drag with Remedy.